Welcome everybody. In this video we will be solving the MCQs of miscellaneous exercise of determinants, and the questions have been taken from the Maharashtra government textbook 11th standard maths part 1. Let's go ahead with the first question. There's a determinant that has been given to us and that they have said that this determinant will be equal to 0. Now this determinant will be 0, then which of the following conditions or which of the following options are going to be satisfied? So let's try to evaluate this determinant. We will not straight away expand it. Rather what we can do is, we have a plus b here and we have a and b here. So we can subtract this a and this b from the term here. That is, we need to go for R3 minus R2 minus R1. So if we go for R3 minus R2 minus R1 in R3, then the determinant will look like this. So there will be a, b, a plus b, then there will be b, c, b plus c. Here we will have R3, that is this minus this minus this, so that will be 0. Then this minus this minus this will again be 0. And then we have this minus this, that's making it minus 2b minus a minus c. The determinant value has been given to us as 0. So when we try to evaluate this determinant by simply expanding it, so we will try expanding it along the third row. So that will give us minus 2b minus a minus c, the whole multiplied by ac minus b square equal to 0. So either minus 2b minus a minus c will be 0, or we can say that the second bracket will be 0. But if ac minus b square will be 0, then we can say that AC will be equal to B square, and if AC is equal to B square, we can say that ABC are in GP. So B is the right answer for the first question. Going ahead with the second question, the value for this determinant is equal to x minus y into y minus z into z minus x into 1 plus x, 1 upon x plus 1 upon y plus 1 upon z. Then the k value will be equal to what for this condition? So from this very expression, we can pull out x power k common from the first row, y power k and z power k common from the second and third row. So the determinant will look like x power k into y power k into z power k multiplied by determinant of the first row will be 1, x square, x cube, second row will be 1, y square, y cube, the third row will be 1, z square, z cube, and the value for this entire expression has been given to us as x minus y into y minus z into z minus x into 1 upon x plus 1 upon y plus 1 upon z. Now for this particular determinant, you should know that the expansion value will be something, and basically you need to memorize the expansions of these three determinants. If the determinant is this, that is 1, a and a square type of terms, the expansion will only contain a minus b, b minus c and c minus a. But if the terms are a and a cube, of course, of the type 1a and a cube. If it is 1a and a cube, the expansion will definitely contain these three terms, but it will also contain a plus b plus c along with it. And if the terms are of the type 1a square a cube, the determinant along with these three terms is going to contain the term ab plus bc plus ca also. Now in our question, the determinant given to us is this. How these values have come, I will expand it in this particular sum and show the derivation for this particular determinant. For the other two determinants, the derivation will be carried out in a similar way, and you can check that derivation by working it out by yourself. For the time being, let's just answer this question. The value for this determinant, we just saw it was x minus y into y minus z into z minus x into xy plus yz plus zx. So x minus y, y minus z and z minus x get cancelled on the left and right hand sides. So that will leave us on the left hand side with x power k, y power k, z power k into xy plus yz plus zx. And on the right hand side we are left with 1 upon x plus 1 upon y plus 1 upon z. So on the right hand side, if you take an LCM, The LCM for the three terms will be XYZ. The first term will become YZ, the second term will become XZ, and the last term will become XY. So now in the numerator, this term and this term can get cancelled, and we are left with x power k, y power k, z power k as 1 upon xyz. But 1 upon xyz is like xyz power minus 1. So xyz power minus 1 is like x power minus 1 into y power minus 1 into z power minus 1. So compare the left and right hand sides and you will realize that the value for k is minus 1. So if you remember the values of these three determinants, then these kind of questions you can answer them very easily. And like I said, I will be deriving the value for this determinant for you in this video, and for the other two determinants you can evaluate their values in similar, with the help of similar steps, and check that the determinant's expansion will be this only. So we are taking this determinant 1 1 1, a square b square c square, and a cube b cube c cube. So what you can do is you can go for r2 minus r1, that will give you 0, b square minus a square, and b cube minus a cube. And you can also go for r3 minus r1, so that will be 0, c square minus a square, and c cube minus a cube. And the top row remaining 1, a square and a cube. Now b square minus a square is like b plus a into b minus a. Even this will be c plus a into c minus a. You can write b cube minus a cube as b minus a into b square plus ab plus a square. Similarly, you can write c cube minus a cube as c minus a, c square plus ac plus a square. Now from the second row, you can pull out a b minus a common, and from the third row you can pull out a c minus a common. So this term will be b plus a, this term will be c plus a, this term has come out, so this will be b square plus ab plus b square, b square plus ab plus a square, and this term will be c square plus ac plus a square. And yeah, we had taken out two terms common. So the two terms that we just took out common were b minus a and c minus a. Now we will try to expand this entire determinant. And with that, let's try to expand this entire determinant. So we will have b minus a into c minus a into 1 multiplied by this into this. There will be a square multiplied by determinant of something, but that determinant will be 0. Then a cube will be multiplied with the determinant of this, which will again be 0. So the value for this determinant is going to be 1 multiplied by the multiplication of these two terms. So that will be bc square plus abc plus a square b, plus it will be ac square plus a square c plus a cube, and from that we will subtract the multiplication of these two terms. So that will be minus b square c minus abc minus a square c minus ab square minus a square b minus a cube. So we have a cube and a cube getting cancelled. Then we have plus abc minus abc getting cancelled. Anything else getting cancelled there? Is it okay? Plus a square c minus a square c getting cancelled. A square b minus a square b getting cancelled. And we are left with bc square minus bc square. Let's write only the leftover terms for now. There was a minus ab square there. Okay, so we have bc square minus b square c. Then we have ac square minus ab square. You can pull out a bc common from here, so that will leave you with bc into c minus b. Pull out just the a common from here, so that will give you a into c square minus b square. But we can then write c square minus b square as c minus b into c plus b. Now we can pull out c minus b common from the two terms here. So if we pull out a c minus b common from the two terms, we are going to be left with bc plus a into b plus c. Yeah. Now this can be written as ab plus ac. And finally we have b minus a into c minus a into c minus b. The whole thing multiplied by ab plus bc plus ca. Let's write those brackets properly. And now you might be wondering, this is not exactly in the way we have written them. So it's okay, you can just multiply the entire expression with minus 1 and minus 1 twice. Let this minus 1 go inside the bracket here, and let this minus 1 go inside the bracket here. So when this minus 1 goes inside the bracket that I just said, this term will become b minus c. And when this minus 1 goes inside the specified bracket, this term will become a minus b. So we have a minus b into b minus c into c minus a into ab plus bc plus ac as the final expansion for this determinant. And yeah, that's how we are deriving this particular result. In a similar way, you can derive this as well as this result. So with that, let's go ahead with our third question. And in the third question, what we will do is, they have given us a determinant, okay? We just need to check whether this determinant is independent of theta or phi, or it is simply a constant. The d option is not printed properly. They should have written it as dd upon d theta at theta equal to pi by 2. So let's check which of these options is correct, and we can check it only after we evaluate that determinant. So if this is our determinant, we will try to simplify it by, let's say I'm multiplying and dividing that determinant with sine theta into cos theta upon sine theta into cos theta. Okay, take that sine theta and multiply it with elements of the first row. Take this cos theta and multiply it with elements of the second row. Okay, so this sine theta goes inside the determinant and cos theta also goes inside. So you are left with 1 upon sine theta cos theta outside the determinant. Inside the determinant, like I said, the first row is getting multiplied by sine theta. So we have sine square theta cos phi. Then we have sine square theta sine phi. And the last term being sine theta cos theta. The second row will be, there was a cos theta going in the second row. So cos square theta cos phi. Then it will be cos square theta sine phi. This was a theta here. And the last term will be minus sine theta into cos theta. And the last row remaining minus sine theta sine phi and sine theta cos phi. And this being 0. Now what we can do is we can go for adding up. We can add up R1 plus R2. So when we go for R1 plus R2, this plus this is sine square theta cos phi plus cos square theta cos phi. Cos phi can come out common and sine square theta plus cos square theta will be 1. So this term will simply be 1 into cos phi, which is equal to cos phi. Similarly, this plus this, that will be sine square sine phi, sine square theta sine phi plus cos square theta sine phi. Sine phi comes out common, so we will have sine square theta plus cos square theta into sine phi. That is 1 into sine phi, which is equal to sine phi only. And then finally sine theta cos theta plus minus sine theta cos theta will be equal to 0. So the term here is equal to 0. Now what we can do is we can take this 1 upon sine theta cos theta inside the determinant, and we will take it inside the determinant and multiply it with elements of the third column. So that will give us a minus 1 here. And once we have this, we will expand the determinant along the third column. So that will give us minus of minus 1, which is 1, multiplied by the determinant of these two minus these two. So that will be cos phi into sine theta into cos phi. So that will be cos square phi sine theta. Minus of minus will make it plus sine theta and sine square phi. So it's sine square phi into sine theta. You can pull out a sine theta common. So you will have cos square theta plus sine square phi into sine theta. The addition of these two will be 1. So we have 1 into sine theta, which is equal to sine theta. So finally the value for this determinant is equal to sine theta, and if the value is sine theta for this determinant, it is independent of phi, and that is why option B will be the right answer for the third question. Going ahead with the fourth one, you want the given system of equations to have a non-zero solution, and if they are having a non-zero solution, then if you just check these equations, that's your first equation, the right hand side is 0. This is your second equation, again with the right hand side equal to 0, and then you have your third equation with again the right hand side 0. So x and x, y, z equal to 0, that is 0, 0, 0 is definitely one of the solutions for the given system of equations. But along with 0, 0, 0, it has a non-zero solution also. So if there are more than one solutions, then it means it is a case of infinite solutions, and because it is a case of infinite solutions, we will say that D will be equal to 0. So the determinant D will be a cube, a plus 1 cube, and a plus 2 cube. That is a cube, a plus 1 cube, a plus 2 cube. Then we have a plus 1, a plus 2. And then we have 1, 1, 1. The whole thing equal to 0. Just for the time being, imagine a plus 1 as B and a plus 2 as C. So this is like a cube, a cube, B cube. This is B and this is 1. This is C cube, C and 1. So we have discussed that the expansion for this determinant is going to be equal to, that will be A minus B, B minus C, C minus A into A plus B plus C, and this determinant value was equal to 0 because we had said that D will be 0. So if we just put B as A plus 1 again, if B is A plus 1, this determinant will become, this bracket will become equal to minus 1. Go for B minus C. B minus C will again be minus 1. So even this bracket will be minus 1. C minus A. C minus A, that will be 2. And finally A plus B plus C. So B and C are A plus 1 and A plus 2. So A plus B plus C will give you A plus A plus 1 plus A plus 2. That will be 3A plus 3. That is 3 times A plus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So the entire total here will be 2. 2 into 3 will be 6. So we have 6 times A plus 1 as 0. So A will be equal to minus 1. And yeah, that gives you option B as the right answer for the fourth question. Going ahead with the fifth one. This is a sum, there's an identical sum that you have solved in your exercise 4.2. In case if you don't remember that, don't worry. We will be solving it fully in this video. So in this determinant, all you need to do is go for this plus this minus this. That is, I am asking you to go for C1 minus C1 plus C3 minus C2. So that will give you the determinant as this plus this minus this. That will give you 2B. This plus this minus this will give you 2Q. This plus this minus this will give you 2y. The remaining terms are C plus A, R plus P, Z plus X, then it is A plus B, P plus Q, and X plus Y. You can pull out a 2 common from the first column and write this entire determinant as 2 into this determinant. We have BQY, but we have a BQY here also. So we can go for C3 minus C1, and that will eliminate the BQY terms here. Now we have APX and we had APX here also. So we can now go for C2 minus C3. C2 minus C3 will eliminate the terms here. So we have APX as our last column. And yeah, this is how the final determinant will look like. So we have 2 times. So we have a 2 outside the determinant in every option. Now the first row is BCA. Okay, we don't have BCA anywhere. This has to be Okay, we have BQY as our first column. So BQY is here, BQY is here, BQY is here, and BQY is here. Okay, let's try taking BQY as our second column. Or okay, BQY is our first column here and here. But okay, if we interchange these two columns, the value of the determinant will become negative. So 2 is not the right answer. Let's try comparing this with, let's interchange the two columns here. That is, interchange C1 and C2. So BQY and CRZ. But by doing so, we are making the determinant negative of what it originally was. So we will have to interchange the two columns here also. So that will give us APX here and BQY here. So then this minus 1 will vanish, and CAB is something we have anywhere? No, we don't have it. So if I interchange the two columns here, it becomes this option, but it's not equal because changing just two columns will change the sign of the determinant. So A is wrong. So I think we should again change the two columns here. So that will give us APX here and CRZ here, introducing a minus 1 here. Interchange these two columns, so that will give us BQY and CRZ. So that will eliminate the minus 1 again. Now, is that what we have in our third option? Yeah. Now this determinant matches with our option C, so C is the right answer for this fifth question. Going ahead with the sixth one, the system of equation is going to have at least one solution when, so we have the determinant D written as 3 minus 1 4, then we have 1 2 minus 3, and then we have 6 5 and lambda. Let's expand the determinant first. So we will have 3 into 2 lambda plus 15. So that will be 6 lambda plus 45 minus of minus 1 into lambda plus 18. So that will be simply plus lambda plus 18. And then it will be 4 into 5 minus 12. That will be 4 into minus 7, which is minus 28. So minus 10 and plus 45, making it plus 35. And 6 lambda plus lambda, making it 7 lambda. So we have 7 lambda plus 35 as the value of D. Now, at least one solution means it can have either one or more solutions. So for one solution, 7 lambda plus 35 should not be equal to 0. For infinite solutions, D has to be equal to 0. And of course, along with that, dx, dy, dz also have to be equal to 0. So I think if we go for not equal to 0, there will be more than one correct answers. So maybe there's a misprint in the question and they are asking us that the given system of equations will have, either it should have no solution or it should have infinite solutions. So that will happen when the D value will be 0. That is when 7 lambda plus 35 will be 0. That is when lambda will be minus 35 upon 7. That is minus 5. So for lambda equal to minus 5, D will be 0. And in that circumstances, either we will have no solution or we will have infinite solutions. So lambda equal to minus 5, that is option A, will be the right answer for this question. Seventh one, x equal to minus 9 is the root of this equation. The other roots are what? So we can say that okay, if let's solve this entire equation only. On expanding the determinant, we will have x into x square minus 12 minus 3 into 2x minus 14 plus 7 into 12 minus 7x equal to 0. Expand these terms, so we will have x cube minus 12x, then we will have minus 6x plus 42 plus 84 minus 49x equal to 0. So we have minus 18x minus 49x, so that will be minus 67x plus 126 equal to 0. So if we put x as 2, we have 8 minus 134 plus 126, and yes, this will be equal to 0. So x equal to 2 is one of the roots, and we can find the other root by synthetic division. So by synthetic division, if we go ahead, x equal to 2 was one of the roots, so we can write a 2 here. Write the coefficients of this expression here, that is 1, 0, minus 67 and 126. Take that minus 1 down the way it is. 2 into 1 will give you a 2. 0 plus 2 will be 2. 2 into 2 will give you a 4. Minus 67 plus 4 will be minus 63. 2 into minus 63 will give you minus 126. Add them up, you get a 0. So we have this expression as x minus 2 into x square plus 2x minus 63 equal to 0. So we can write that x square plus 2x minus 63. We can factorize it as x minus 7 into x plus 2 equal to 0. Sorry. We can factorize it as x minus 7 into x plus 9 equal to 0. So the roots of this equation are minus 9, 7 and 2. If one of the roots is minus 9, the other two roots are 2 and 7. So yeah, C is the right answer for the third question. Going ahead, the determinant is equal to x plus iy. All you need to do is just expand the determinant. So this will be 6i into 3i square plus 3. 3i square will be minus 3 and minus 3 plus 3 will be 0. So the first term vanishes. The second term will be minus of minus 3i, which is 3i, into 4i plus 20. Further, if you expand the determinant, it will be 1 into 12 minus 60i. So expanded, this will be 12i square, that is minus 12, plus 60i plus 12 minus 60i. So 60i gets cancelled and minus 12 plus 12 also gets cancelled. So the final answer will be 0. So if you compare this term with 0, you can say it is 0 plus 0i, and that is why x and y, both of them will be equal to 0, making option D the right answer for the 8th question. For the 9th one, you are given the 3 vertices of a triangle and you have said that the area of the triangle is 3. So what should be the value for k? So we can say that 3, which is the area of triangle, will be half into determinant of 1, 0, 0, then 1, 1, 3 and 1, k, 0. And if we solve this, we have 3 equal to, take that 2 on the right, on the left. So we will have 6 equal to, the determinant of this will be 1 into 0 minus 3k. So that will simply be minus 3k. And then there will be plus 0 plus 0. But we have modulus of this term as 6. So you can simply say that 3k will be equal to plus or minus of 6. So k will be equal to plus or minus of 2. So D out there is the right answer for the 9th question. And taking one last question in this video, which of the following will be correct? Determinant is a square matrix. Determinant is a determinant, matrix is a matrix. Matrix is only an arrangement of numbers, whereas determinant is a value which, a determinant would have a numerical value with itself. If there's a determinant like 1, 2, 3, 4, you can actually expand it and say that this is 4 minus 6, that is minus 2. So a determinant is basically a numerical value, whereas matrix is only an arrangement of numbers. So A is wrong. Determinant is not a matrix. Determinant is a numerical value. Matrix is an arrangement of numbers. Determinant is a number associated with a matrix. You cannot expand any matrix which is not a square matrix. You cannot take determinant of numbers which are not arranged in a square manner. That is, numbers which are not arranged in the form number of rows equal to number of columns. In a matrix, if the number of rows and columns are equal, then only you can evaluate a determinant value for it. So determinant is a number associated with only a square matrix, not any random matrix. So B is wrong. Yeah, with the same very explanation I just gave, C is the right answer. and if C is right, D is definitely wrong. So yeah, that's how we are answering the 10th question, and this is where I am done with discussing all the solutions to the miscellaneous exercise. I hope that the contents of this video have been someplace somewhere helpful to you in your preparations. Thank you for watching.